This is the BlackSwarm podcast, baby. We're raw. And welcome to another McKinley Week edition of the BlackSwarm podcast. Hank Piper with Rob Antonell, and tonight we have another very special guest, former All-Ohio center and offensive coordinator for the Massillon Tigers, Joe Studer. How you doing tonight?
Fine, great. Glad to be here. Pete McKinley.
Don't sound too enthusiastic now. All right, so we are presented by, right up top here, Ground Zero MMA. If you're looking for any kind of fighting gym, mixed martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, yoga, any sort of private one-on-one lessons or stuff for the kids, hit them up at 133 First Street Northeast, 44646. That's across from Massillon Transmission and Chloe's Diner. Or if you don't want to go in, you want to check them out, see what they're about on the computer, that's at groundzeromma.com, Ground Zero Mixed Martial Arts on Facebook, or GZ_MMA on Instagram. Big shout out to those guys. Don't get too much money flowing in on this podcast, and it's nice to have a sponsor. We appreciate you fellas, and all the listeners there, all tens of you, go head on down there, check them out. So yeah, let's just get into it. McKinley Week, another year's come and gone. How are we feeling about the season so far?
Well, I tell you, I think we've played pretty doggone good. I mean, defensively, I think we've been fantastic. Offensively, we haven't played our best game by far. I don't think. I think we can play more consistently. We've hit the big plays at big times, but I think we could really come out and see this team really gel on offense. Is what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah, I think that's been a big talking point around here for the last few weeks. That's definitely something we're hoping for too. Another big talking point has been the Week 9, the bye week. Mm-hmm. From your perspective as a player and a coach, what do you think of having a bye essentially going into the McKinley game?
Well, things are so much different now with the playoffs being so long. I really think that it was we're probably one of maybe 4 places that can afford to do it, to just lose a gate, in the first place. But I think it's fantastic for us. I mean, we get the extra time. You start prepping for McKinley. You work the young kids for a whole week. And, I think instead of playing somebody really, really tough in the 9th week, you're healing up. And that's a long stretch. I just really, for the kids to go that long, I mean, get me into that, everybody gets in, 16 teams thing, and I'm just totally against it. I mean, 8's plenty. Mm-hmm. I mean, you should earn your right to be in. It's not about everybody getting a T-shirt or a trophy. And, I think still at 8, you're going to have teams that are 5-4.
Yeah.
Going in to see if they can make it or not. Who gets rewarded for that?
The OHSA does. They get a little bit extra money from ticket sales that way, but that's a different talking point.
Yeah. I'm getting off subject already.
No, I wanted to bring it up and then shut it down. But no, but if you didn't know, OHSA gets all of the ticket sales for every playoff game. The teams don't get any of it. Apparently, you might get like $1 if you do it online or something. I don't know. But OHSA gets a lot of money from playoffs, and now there's more playoff games.
That's what it's all about. They've taken that to new levels.
Yeah, exactly. So talking about that bye week, you say that you liked it. It's a nice little break for the kids, and I like that concept of it as well. From a coaching standpoint, especially going into McKinley, how would you have treated last week, with the varsity players? Would it be any different than a normal week?
I think you would adjust enough. Now, I don't know what Coach Moore did, but their staff, how they handled it. But I would think you would adjust it enough where there would be a little more emphasis on the JV guys that were going to play Friday. Not to say the ones weren't going to get their reps and do things. I think everything was probably just trimmed down as far as minutes for what the ones did and upgraded for the JV guys. I would think that's how I would handle it. You don't want to grind your ones, but you want to get them introduced to the game plan for McKinley and, start more reps you get, the better it should be.
Do you think with that extra time, you have more time to install stuff, like new looks, new plays, whatever, for McKinley? Or do you think you're week 10 in the season, you want to just kind of game plan it like you would every other week, take it, just don't add too much, only add what you would for any other opponent?
I would think that by now they've probably got half a dozen plays that they've never shown in a game that they've been practicing all year for McKinley, and they've been able to keep them in their pocket, and now they're just fine-tuning them, but they've probably thrown them into the script, might not every week, but remember these two we ran in August, week 2, here we go, they're in this week, and then you don't run them, but you practice them. And I'm sure they've got that. I would really be surprised if they're putting something in and running it for the first time, even with the bye week. It's consistency. They're kids, and it's hard to introduce stuff and change a lot week to week. It's always my belief. Get better at what you do,
What are your thoughts on having certain plays and saving it for opponents versus getting like live reps against a different team that hasn't seen it before?
Well, I think you're going to do that with your bread and butter stuff. You're going to practice your bread and butter stuff all the time, every week, every day, But, and there's some stuff, I think anymore it's more formation, and a lot of people run a whole bunch of formations but run the same 8 plays. You know what I mean? I don't know if I like that theory myself, just keep getting good at what you do and, find out who the better team is.
Yeah.
It's something that you kind of brought up there that was going to be my next question anyway. As a coach, when do you start kind of preparing for McKinley? I know a lot of the times, especially like when we played, McKinley Week didn't start until McKinley Week.
Right.
But there may have been some things we were doing the week before, 2 weeks before, that we were told was for that week. But in reality, it was just extra reps for McKinley. Are you gauging it throughout the year? The more McKinley film you see, the more you're adding throughout the year? Or is it kind of just a week 9 or even not until week 10
That could go a whole different direction too, because the video from when I coached to now it's so more accessible.
Yeah.
We didn't have people held on to the tape, and you didn't see McKinley tape floating around. You might catch them on TV or something and video it. Have to tape it at home. But so that makes it all different thing. I know we would really break down the game hard for the last couple of years. You'd have your files and you'd have things, and maybe we have a couple of things that we put in right away and just save, knowing that, and nobody really knows what you're doing. And then if you do play a team with the same defense, that you're expecting McKinley to play during the season, you can pull them folders out too, and what do you want to show, what don't you want to show, because that would be a great practice week for you for McKinley without saying anything.
I had something. And
when it comes to scheduling opponents, you just got to dive in what they just brought up. I don't know if you had a big hand in who Maslin may have played while you're there, but maybe you heard about some of the ideas or you have your own opinions on it. Would you look at certain opponents that might have a similar makeup or similar style as McKinley or another big opponent so you can try to add that in there specifically for that reason?
Once you got somebody nailed down to where they're actually serious going to talk about playing us, that's the first step. You got to find
that's hard enough, right?
That's the major battle. You find somebody who says, "Yeah, we're game," you don't really care what they're playing because we've got a game, unless you got a couple, over the same date. But usually, in our situation, being independent, we gotta take what we can get for the most part. So it kind of eliminates that down. I don't know how many options we really have to get that far down. I think we got to take whoever wants to play us.
Yeah. On the subject of scheduling games, we talked about, a few weeks ago, our ideal Massillon schedule, and a lot of people had ideas. I think a lot of the common themes throughout it was you want a really strong team early, like an Eds, a Moeller, something like that, to gauge where you're at. What do you think about, opening the season with a team like Moeller versus getting a couple games in and then seeing them maybe week 3 or 4?
Well, again, I think it comes down to timing. We've got Glen Oak and Warren been kind of pretty much scheduled in 2 and 3, and they got that, and that kind of eliminates that. Mm-hmm. Fitch has kind of been flexible over the years. We usually played them 6 or 7. I think it's moved up a little bit now. But that plays into it too, I don't mind playing in the first game. I don't mind that. I mean, it's a teaches you how to battle right off the bat. You know what I mean? You're going to go out against the best. So, if you're all that, show up. And then I think that doesn't. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Now, would I rather play them? If I had my druthers, I'd rather play one week 5 and not the other one. you know what I mean? And but it's just so hard. I wouldn't want that job trying to schedule. I can't imagine the hours that has to go into it to make it work.
So, and this kind of, I'll bring it back around to that question, but as your perspective as a former player and a coach, how much does the team, offense, defense, whatever, change from week 1 to mid-season to week 10? Because, week 1, we're of the opinion you have an idea of who you want to be, and then you get punched in the mouth. You start to have to figure stuff out, what works, what doesn't. So, what's the, how different is the team really from week 1 to mid-season to end of the season?
Well, as a coach, you want consistency, but it is different. And injuries, too, you got to mention them because they can change things in a hurry. But, you'd like to think that you're going to be able to develop some consistency and have an identity and, going, but it always doesn't go that way. There's a lot of obstacles, a lot of things thrown at you, and, it can be real successful, but I think, going in, you got to have your base. You got to have your go-tos. And, that's part of being a program now. Mm-hmm. You look at our program now, how many times will an offensive lineman, if he starts in the 7th grade, how many times will he pull and run power by the time he gets to the high school? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the continuity, and that goes a long way. And I think you just got to base it on your foundation, and your personnel is going to change every year, and find ways to get the playmakers the ball with using your, principles. Mm-hmm. So it's going to change every week. The thing in high school football too, in college football, you're going to see the same coverages more or less. And in high school football, a lot of times, at least especially back when I coached, you didn't know what they were going to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. From week to week. You play, an Akron Bookto, and they're going to bring 8 guys up there and play man-to-man, and, they've never heard of cover 2 or cover 4, It's man-to-man. You got 26, brother. Go get him, and they come at you. Mm-hmm. Where, you play some teams at Ignatius or somebody, where they're going to be at because they're going to be consistent in what they do. And, so it's a lot different, I think, at the high school level. I don't think so much more now at the high school level. I think the coaching and everything is so much better now, I think, on a consistent level. Mm-hmm. You got better all-around coaches everywhere, I think, than what you had then.
Kind of on that subject, though, we've played a lot of teams that I guess on paper we kind of outclass. And then at least defensively, they'll scrap their whole playbook and just throw junk at us. Mm-hmm. You know, like I think the big one this year was Mansfield. They were just a standard 3-4 cover 4 team, and then they came out and ran this 6-1 front in cover 3, cover 4 that New England, that New England used against the Rams in the Super Bowl, and that they never showed on film before.
How'd they make out?
Not great.
Hard to do, man.
But did you guys see anything like that back when you played or coached? Or
I could remember some games over the years where, you know, they would have, you know, different teams. They'd bring 8 guys up there and nobody's in the stands. I always called it the 4th Street defense, like we were, you know, playing tag football on the thing. Everybody lined up on line of scrimmage, and you know, you'd see things like that in high school, but not very often. And you don't anymore, you know. Mm-hmm. But it's still it's a week to week process, and I think it's more defensively now, to, you know, making the small adjustments if you're going to see a heavy run team, or, you know, teams will throw the ball 50 times now. You know, we've never seen that back then. Mm-hmm. You know, defense, whole different animal now compared to stopping the run, the power eye, and, you know.
How does the challenges of being a coach change when you have a relatively young team like Massillon does this year compared to like what it might be next year when you have a lot of people returning?
Well, I think there's a standard, you know, and I don't think that deviates. You know, you show up, you work your butt off, and compete for a position, and the guys around you are going to make you better, and you got to make them better. And it all, you know, it's all part of the tradition and what they're buying into, and, you know, that's what they're signing up for. So I think that's just a growing thing. Again, back to the tradition and back with having that stability to coach more. It's brought him bringing in Massillon guys to coach the kids. I mean, that's all paying dividends. Now, we haven't been dynamite on offense this year, but you know what? Here we are. We're going to the McKinley game. We lost the number 1 team in the state and beat the other one. You know what I mean? So that's the bottom line, you know. And I think it has a lot to do that we got so much consistency now coming up through the program, you know. It's a big difference.
Is that something you guys had back in the day when you played and coached? Like, what was the, you don't want to say feeder system, but, you know, like the junior high, the middle school, was that all like one big umbrella that like fed up to Massillon to the high school, or was it its own little stuff?
I think more so, I remember back when I was, you know, it was absolutely that. You know, with the 3 junior highs then, which was 7 through 9, so you didn't even get to the high school till you were sophomore. And it really made for a competitive situation, though. Having 3 junior highs, and, you know, who's going to be city champs was a big deal when you were a freshman. You know, it wasn't like, and we still played some outside opponents, played Alliance, I remember, and I don't, you know, we play some Youngstown teams still, but we play each other twice, you know. So home or play up the old where the high school is now, the old practice field. That's where we'd play. Whole different world. Yeah, but even in the '90s, you know, we were going through the transition when I came in and moving from. In '91, moving from the old high school to the new high school. And that was really, you know, when you really had to make different plans. You know, there was no more 3 middle school or junior highs, you know, and everything switched then. So there was a lot of work going into that, restaffing, and, you know, your scheduling's all, you know, different now, so. Yeah, definitely different times. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
When all of that happened, I mean, I know in general, like Massillon has not been growing population-wise. The schools have gotten a little bit smaller. What do you think the biggest noticeable aspect of that would be, from going from 3 junior highs to 2 middle schools to now 1 middle school?
Well, I think you lost some, but I think it's long gone. But I think when it first happened, I think you lost some of the competitive juices for them guys as they were coming up now, the freshman team now, there's no rivalries and nothing. And you had to bring all the kids together because that was some strong east side, west side, stuff going on back then. And so that was a challenge. I think scheduling, like I said, was going to be all different and bring them together. But I think in the long run, I mean, we're way better off now, those kids get to play together so much longer, and the way the times have changed, not as many young people want to play, so condensing from 3 to 1 was probably pretty good timing, to still get enough people to, fill all the positions and have some depth and everything.
I really don't have any kind of follow-up to that one. I'm just flailing for any sort of conversation right now. Talked about it before. It's interview mode is like you're just like listening for the next thing to bounce off of, and I'm still in conversation mode. I'm just listening to what you're saying, taking it in. Mm-hmm. So I guess with that, we're gonna have a lot more McKinley Week talk on the other side of film room, but we can get into it now. Watch a little bit of film, some clips from the 100th game, and from McKinley this year. Get some thoughts on it. There's, good outsider perspective on it, at least outsider of this room, because we don't know jack shit of what we're talking about at any given time.
Well, I haven't seen McKinley play at all yet. I mean, during the season, I haven't watched any tape or watched anything on them. I obviously watched the scores. Mm-hmm. I know they had a rough start, but they play Menor in the opening game, and that's always a tough game. They're having a down year this year. They're well coached. They've got that same continuity. Mm-hmm. Same coaches, same head coach, and they're always good. They might not be the fastest or the most talented a year. They have a bad class or two, but they're going to be good. That's a tough opener for McKinley.
Yeah.
This day and age, I mean, I'm sure they'd like to scale that back a little bit. Give them more.
Yeah, Menor, a bunch of weight room kids, coaches' sons, real heady players, real sneaky fast, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Tough opener for any team, really.
Yeah.
But.
And they had a rough go of it. I thought they'd come out of the gate a little better than what they did, obviously. Mm-hmm. Because I thought they played well at the end of last year, going into our game. And it's kind of been like a mirror performance, bad start, then get it together. And they're going to be competitive, that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a battle. Always is.
So with that, we'll get into a little film room action and get that rolling. All right, so to open up some film room action, we're going to watch some clips from the 100th game. This is from the WHS TV broadcast. And we're just going in chronological order here. Some stuff I clipped, interesting. I had talking points for each one of them, and I'm sure I'll get all those talking points back as we watch. But this first clip here, we were talking about off air as we got this set up, Uncle Joe. You said you think you know what this one is. And it is that play call, but this is real early in the game.
I figured it. I know we hit some plays running the boot out of power set, running the option out of power set. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing it's one of them.
Yeah, so this will be the option out of power set, the game winner.
Okay.
But this one...
Well, I said it was in overtime. You said no.
Nope. This is, well, let's just roll it and get to watch what happens.
Okay, that wasn't the overtime.
So early in the game, Call gets blown up, Not blown up, but not
Well
much
defended.
going. Yeah.
Well defended.
Something like this happens. Do you mark that down on your call sheet? Like, hey, might not go back to this one, or is it something you just believe in? We'll chalk it up as an L and call it later.
Yeah, what I like to do was had my call sheet, and if I would highlight the ones that were successful to make sure I run them.
Mm-hmm.
But this was more of we don't get to the pitch key. I mean, we're supposed to be pitching off of that guy, but my boy Ben Mass got beat across his face, and we kind of got. You see there.
Gotcha.
He forced it. So we're supposed to be out there pitching off the next guy. We assume that guy's going to be blocked.
Mm-hmm.
So we pitch off the next guy.
Yeah.
The guy that makes the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9's got a long way to go to get
Got
there.
some space out there, yeah. The dive was there.
Yeah.
So that wasn't something I was too worried about not going back to, but it wasn't moving up the ladder a whole lot either.
Gotcha. Let's keep moving on to the next play here. Little I formation.
Sprint out draw.
Yeah. You guys
Great play.
You guys hit this one big a couple times in this game. Was that
Great play for teams that want to run that 4-3 and just run hard to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to sprint out as one of your base packages, Because it's not really a whole lot of blocking. The key's on the backside guard, which looks like Kevin Bowder here. He's got to take that guy wherever he can. He's not stepping hard left like we do normal protection.
Yeah.
He's kind of,
just
base blocking that 3 technique.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of giving up that A gap. We don't have a guy signed for that A gap. So if we blitz, what's happened a million times is we execute the handoff and we go right by the blitzer because he's chasing the quarterback.
Gotcha.
So it's worth the risk, But you got to get that block. You got to give the running back, he's watching that guard's block, and he's either going to rip it up inside or do what he did.
So you said that guard's base blocking the 3 tech. Is he just taking the 3 tech where he wants to go? Or is,
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Just get on him, get your hands on him, and run him wherever you can. The back's got to make the cut. Back's got to read his block and make the cut, which he makes a great cut here. I always liked it out of flat backs.
Mm-hmm.
Where it seemed like gave it more deception in the eye, but it worked you out either side.
All right. Next play.
This is power set.
Oh yeah. So this one I saved it. So how much responsibility did you give your quarterback at the line of scrimmage to say like, hey, let's, is he in charge of counting the guys, or did he just like happen to notice, hey, we have our power set plus an extra guy out here, like what's going on?
No, I did the right thing. I mean, it was a personnel mistake, and Willie called timeout. I mean, we were going to get a penalty, and
how much?
It was the wrong formation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the wrong personnel in for the formation.
Gotcha. So something like that happens. You're tapping the quarterback on the helmet, like, hey, good job seeing that. Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, Willie, he knew we can't run this play out of this set.
Got it.
Was the thing. So he knew right away so we got it straightened out.
This one, QB sneak from the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
What's the thought with that one? Willie's just so big, so good that we can wedge this thing in there?
I can't remember exactly what the down distance was. If it was 3rd and short or not. I tell you, I love the quarterback sneak. I used to love the quarterback sneak on first down. When I was head coach at other places,
yeah.
If I ever ran a quarterback sneak on 4th and short and we got it, we get first down. Next play, I'm run quarterback sneak again. Because they are so relaxed in there, and they're mauled in there with all them bodies, And if you had a big, strong quarterback, I'd run quarterback sneak again. It always worked. He always got 7 or 8 yards, I
actually thought about that the other week watching a Browns game. I think the Browns are struggling, and anytime you get down in the red zone, Stefanski likes to do anything except for run the ball straight downhill. And it was like 1st and goal from the 5, and I'm like, QB sneak. I was like, Jacoby Brissett averages like 4 yards on QB sneaks on 4th down. I was like, what's going to happen on 1st? I was like, hey, we'll get a couple yards back. Like, why not? Cheat the system a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Next play here. So, how did you guys get the calls in? Because it looks like there was a substitution every play.
Every play, yep.
And a guy just brings a new...
Yeah, me and Jack were on the phones, and Jack would rattle it into the receiver, whoever, running back, whoever was in. Now, this is where we had Victor Reddick as the pitch back. See, he's coming in. Because he hadn't played all year. It's his first game.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No.
No, he never played. He was academically ineligible for the first 9 weeks.
Gotcha.
But he practiced. I mean, he was with the team that whole 9 weeks. But he was probably fast. He definitely was the fastest guy we had. And we didn't have him all year.
So this is, again, that same play, the option out of it.
The option out of the power eye, yeah.
Is it just so with the backfield look a little bit different? The flat backs are at the tailback spot now rather than up at the fullback spot. How are you trying to mess with the defense with that? Because throughout this game, you're playing around with the entire backfield, moving guys around a little bit. It's might not be as easy to catch as it is nowadays with how spread out everything is and how much more it seems offense want to move guys around.
Right.
But what are you trying to accomplish with running the option play out of this versus with up at the fullback level?
Well, I think where we're at, we were a power set team when we got down inside the 10-yard line, But we were not have to slam it at you every play. We don't have to run ISO every play. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, we tried to make sure ISO was never run more than the other plays combined. You know what I mean? So it's hard to defend. We got so much to the left as far as strength, but now you come back here and you get Willie in a one-on-one situation. I mean, you let that keep running because let me refresh here. It looks like Willie probably should have pitched it. Now, he just cut up in there. That their defense to that was that 5 technique to run up the field. Smaller kid than Ben Mass, and he's going to run up. That's how they're defending power sets. They're trying to keep everything off the edge by sacrificing that guy by getting upfield.
Gotcha.
Which was a great plan, but Willie being Willie, it didn't work. That's all Willie.
Did you ever?
He just reads it ain't there, and Willie's still thinking pitch when he's past that kid. Willie wasn't shy to pitch it at the last minute.
Did you ever?
He was a load. I think people underestimated how big and strong Willie was. I mean, Willie was a big, strong dude, man. Mm-hmm. And he had a chip on his shoulder, and he played hard.
All right. Keep moving. Next one. Let's see what we got. Oh, I think this is this is the boot throwback.
Backside screen. Ryan Shanner showing the wheels down the sidelines, but he stepped out of bounds. Ryan was my principal at Norton.
Really?
Now he's head coach at Norton. Still is principal at Norton.
Damn.
Yeah, he's done really well for himself.
So you got your basic rollout package. You got your
that same thing off the draw action. Mm-hmm. We hit him with the draw and that, and exact same look. But the tight end sneaks backside. Great play.
How many plays did you have that would go against the flow on those boots and rollouts?
Them two. Yeah. 800 draw and 800 wide screen. Hey. Everything else we sprint out. I mean, you're going to sprint out, And with Willie, we had 8 quarterback, where it was all run all the way.
Yeah.
He'd show high ball rolling out, but then he knew right away that the receivers knew to block, or run them off, whatever we had.
That was something I saw a lot in the game, too, where it's like, it looks like it's a rollout, like looking to throw, but no, he's talking it and running it.
Right.
So those were called, like, all right, QB,
Yeah. It's 8 quarterback. We'd run 800, whatever the route was, And then we'd call 8 quarterback, and that was running. Everybody, the linemen all knew it was 800 block. I mean, they just all come off running, and it really real tough for them.
Gotcha. So next one here.
Straight eye. So we got a wide receiver in the game finally. And
On two.
You know what that was? That was no play, long count. It was,
so that's why he's so
third
pumped on
and short.
this.
Yeah, because we practiced that all year.
I was wondering about. That's why I clipped this one, because I saw it, and he hits it hard. Gets the guy to jump, and he comes off jacked.
Yeah, and that got his first down, I believe, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was no play on don't jump.
Yeah, no play. What do we call it? No play, long count.
Gotcha.
And you just tell your lineman, don't go anywhere because you don't know who to block. You don't have a play. Where are you going to go? You don't know who to block. And
You think it would be that simple.
Yeah.
We had a kid jump.
Yeah.
Not like flinch. Like, he started the play. What play are you running? Don't know.
Yeah. So
I can remember, too, during the practice week, and we didn't do a really good job of mixing the cadence enough during the season. A lot of teams, you get redundant, and the quarterback just calls on one or on quick and mix it up a little bit, but we really emphasized that in practice, that for their quickness, to neutralize their quickness, we had to be able to go on two. We had to be able to run a no play, and not jump ourselves, and really got on the kids about that. In practice, when they jumped, I was on them like a dirty shirt, because we couldn't have the penalties, and I knew we could draw them off because they were so itchy at the ball,
Was this would this be a timeout if they don't jump, or was there anything else to it?
Oh, at this point here, no play, long count. We'd have probably took a timeout down here.
Gotcha.
Now we did have where we ran power, our version of power with the tight end, that he would check it in 46, and then we'd run it. But this one, when we're down here like this, it was all no play, long count. There is no other thing. It either works or we take a timeout.
So now we got.
They're looking quarterback sneak, ain't they?
Looks like it.
See, and we went on two there. You see that? Mm-hmm. You can see him going on two there to try and draw them off. And see if we get a flinch on his head, Bob. A little bit. Little bit. 77.
Yeah. Kept him honest.
Yeah, and
nobody touched him.
Definitely kept him honest.
Nobody touched him.
I know you said you practiced it all week and you're really hammering home how important it was, but I mean, as a play caller, are you ever hesitant to maybe go on to in case of getting a false start?
Willie called it as far as the cadence. I told Willie we're not going to run the same cadence twice in a row.
Okay.
Oh.
So you are going to mix it up.
So does that help your lineman
And
then?
a couple times he went back to won a couple times, wasn't no big deal. But he mixed it in good.
Make sure your linemen are really paying attention then. They don't get in the rhythm then also.
They got to know. And I told him there's nothing wrong with asking the guy next to you, is it one or two? You know what I mean? As you're coming out of the huddle, make sure you know. Communicate.
Yeah.
And this is that ISO action that the option would be played off of, right?
Setting up the option. That's play one right there.
Yeah, they're hard off that edge, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you have any like standalone plays, or are all the plays like built off one another, setting up something else?
Yeah. You as you're watching this, you got guys in the box watching. Now, what's the option look like? All right, they got to be one play ahead. You know what I mean? What's the boot look like out of this set? Mm-hmm. So you got coaches in the box helping and looking for the counterplay. If they shove this up our butt because they sent 8 guys there, what was open? Mm-hmm. Was it the boot? Was it the option? But obviously, we just manhandled them there. We mauled him. He didn't get touched.
Going back
there ain't no coaching there. That's just blocking. They would jump into bear in the middle of the field, and we had checks. Mm-hmm. And the first time they were going to jump in it, we were going to run the trap. And that was what we were going to do. And then the second time, if they jumped in it again, like if they stuffed that, we were going to run the option, off the dive trap.
Mm-hmm.
Because that bear, it's just like this. They're in it right here. I mean, you only got to get 2 guys blocked. The center blocks back, the guard traps, and you got to get to the middle linebacker one way or the other, or the back's got to make him miss. But when you're out in the middle of the field, that little middle linebacker's back like 4 yards. So your tackle's got a shot at him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And, they're not watching our fullback here. They're watching Willie. You know what I mean? They're keying on Ashcraft. And now we got Rhetoric for the option. So when we went into the game, we were going to check against Bear and run the trap the first time. Second time they got on it, we were going to show the same look and run the option. All right, so Willie did that. We barely got through all the things on the trap, and Vinny Turner, and it turned into 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing, I jumped in it again. I kept them out of it for a long time. Because running your whole offense against that bear, I mean, you got to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah.
We weren't a great throwing team.
So
the second time we ran the option in our sideline, he pitched it to Ashcraft. Ashcraft ran up the sideline for 20, and we never seen it again. So it worked perfect, just like we hoped it would.
Going back to something you mentioned, having the different coaches in the box, looking for different things. How would you compare what happened back then compared to now with how technology is different? With the availability of video replays and everything on iPads and computers, is it more efficient? So
Big
you need
screen TV on the sideline.
Yeah. With it being more efficient, do you need less guys looking at it, or because it's so available, you want more eyes on it compared to then?
I don't know. You get too many chefs in the kitchen sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think you got to know who's in charge. And back then, guys were charting things and handing you the chart. You say, where was the outside linebacker when we ran the ISO as far as the options concerned, and they would know exactly where he was and what he did. They were looking to play ahead as far as counter plays. But I don't know, with all that availability now down there in the sidelines, I mean, you're just showing it to them when they come off the field,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just completely different. It put a lot more on us, I think, with not having that and having to count on somebody to see. Me and Eric Schumacher had a really good system with him being down the sidelines as far as identifying alignments of the defense and him being able to draw it up on a chalkboard and show them. And if it was a 4-man front and we had a 3 technique to our tight end, because we always had tight end. If we had a 3 technique to our tight end was normal, and a backside shade on the guard, 1 technique on the guard, and we called it 431. If he was head up on the backside guard, it'd be a 432. If they were both on inside shades, it'd be a 411. So the kids knew that too. So when he's drawing it up on the chalkboard, there was, identification way of communicating for me and him, and then the kids got to know it as it went along. But he's drawing it up. Kids don't really need to know the terms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they knew it. And then when we got good at it, and Mark Fair was there at guard, we got to where we were running a lot of power because we were getting a lot of 1 techniques inside because we got to be a really good trapping team.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'd make an 11 call because we had 2-1. So that tells the pulling guard he's going to come around longer because the play side guard's got blocked down. You know what I mean? So there's going to be some, bodies to get around. Mm-hmm. And it ain't going to be a quick ISO, course for him. So it worked out great. It really did.
All right. So
right now we're up to the playoff game.
Nope.
Right? No, this is the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, this is all 100th game. Oh, yeah, this one. So you can see our starting quarterback in on defense.
Playing safety. Yeah, I hated that.
So how much did he play defense? Was it just for this game? Did he get spot time all year?
No, they put him over there towards the end of the season. Injuries and such, and
it was because we had to. We didn't have any other bodies in there.
Well, he's the best player in Northeast Ohio. The defensive guys wanted him too,
Yeah.
I think he was just so precious to us on offense that risking him playing defense when he hadn't done it was a huge risk. But like I say, he's the best athlete in the county. You gotta let him play.
Did that influence your play calling at all? Like, hey, let's not run Willie as much, or was it just we got to run our game and he's got to deal with it?
When it comes down, crunch time at the end, I had to do what I had to do to, I'm going to call what, I know when we went into the overtime, I'm calling 3 plays. Willie's got a ball in his hands. I don't care how many times he's played on defense. He was going to have the ball in his hands at the end of the game.
Gotcha.
How many referees would there have been at this game? How many referees?
Oh, wow.
Is it a 5-man?
I didn't ask that question.
5-man crew. It's just, I feel like you don't see the back judge running to the sidelines anymore. Which I know some of that is, how referees actually work.
Well, that's pretty wide angle there. We see one ref. Now you got your line judges.
So, there was a line judge on the last one, but he didn't move past the line of scrimmage. So that play down the sideline, you had one back judge running into the frame. Would have been 5-man crew, you think?
I would think so.
2 in the backfield or just 1 in the backfield?
I would think it had to have been a 5-man crew.
5? I like watching older. This isn't that old of a film. If you go back to really old football film, you see referees just running around like they're players. It's so much fun watching these guys run like they're soccer refs. They're just part of the field. They have no area. But yeah, just like seeing that guy come over from the middle, from center field, isn't something you see nowadays.
And you don't even see him in the alignment. So how deep is he?
Yeah,
he's got to be out of the end zone.
Well, he might have to play both pylons. So
yeah.
So this one you can see looks like cover 3 look and Willie back there at free safety.
Head judge in the way.
Yeah. So these couple I clipped because just watching McDaniels play quarterback looks so... he looks like he's trying so hard and he's never thrown a ball in his life. Was it like back in the day, they... well, that's how John Heisman taught him how to throw a pass, so this is how we're all going to teach him how to throw a pass?
I think so. Yeah. You're right. He almost looks robotic.
He puts the ball into his shoulder right away, and then just pushes it from there.
For that, he starts doing that when he's in 6th grade. He's got the ball at a good point to release it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's protected. He's got 2 hands on it.
It's very unnatural, but I feel like that is how people threw back then. You got taught to throw like that, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and but tried to do it the same way every time.
Yeah, I feel like any kid that would go outside and pick up a rock would never throw it like that.
You're probably right. But he's throwing a football, he's throwing a rock.
Yeah, but it just seems it seems unnatural is what I'm saying. I think that's like what Hank's picking up too. Is like, oh, that's how Heisman threw 100 years ago, so that's how everyone has to throw.
Well, it's a 3-step drop. It might be a bad,
Yeah, so here's basic 3-step.
It's a good throw.
Drop. It gets exactly where it needs to be.
Good technique, and he's got a little pressure. It's not like it was a cupcake throw.
I'd like to see him throw it 45 yards like that, but...
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a whole different... See, he's a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, that's more relaxed. Yeah. Oh, and that looked a lot better.
That's how he's taught to throw the quick ball.
The throw didn't look good, but his form did.
I don't know why he bailed out so quick.
Scared.
Probably saw that guy coming up the middle and got a little skittish.
Supposed to be screen to 6.
Oh.
See 6 there? He was a man.
I see it.
Looks like a man.
Where's 6 at? 6 is left side.
He's on the left halfback.
Good golly.
It was that pitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was going to be the pitch.
So they actually ran that in the open field at some point else in this game.
Big Donnie Young gets in the way, 99.
Little
I can't tell if that guy's like actually really big or it's just his shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads are huge.
This is
I look back at this now. I wonder how we played with it.
The thigh pads that come out.
91?
Yeah, the thigh
94.
pads.
I mean, 94, yeah.
This is peak football aesthetic, if you ask me.
Uh-huh.
This is peak football aesthetic. Football doesn't look better than it did right here.
No, you gotta go back like 7 more years to where you had belly shirt jerseys.
Yes.
I mean, some of McKinley's jerseys are short, but the belly shirt jerseys, but you still had the thigh pads that came up to your rib cage.
Yeah.
All right. So here, talking about earlier, checking at the line. You can see McDaniels makes the check.
Definitely checking.
Fullback tells the tailback where to get. Double checks. So I wanted to ask off of this, how much autonomy did you give your quarterback at the line of scrimmage?
Very little. I mean, we game planned it. But like I said, against the Bear, we weren't going to run everything. We were either going to run trap or option. Or we had sprint out in there too. But hard to sprint out against it because they were.
So it was very much like, here's our handful of plays, and that you can
And week
check
to
the-
week, we would have 2 plays piggyback together. And based on the front he got, he'd either run right or left. So we're either going to run 46, which is power, to the right, or we're going to run 27 as counter to the left, based on where they're at.
Gotcha.
And he'd have a 2-way go, and he'd go up and call it, But we didn't do it. I mean, we had it in every week that we could. But most of the time, we ended up seeing what they were in, and we just called power or we called counter,
Gotcha. So it's like built into the play call he's getting from you guys of 46 or 27.
Yeah, 47, 27, check with me.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
we called it. But it wasn't a big thing. This is the classic.
Flea flicker right out of halftime.
There's Victor.
So
But then he gets a penalty for being an idiot.
Wow.
And he was a good kid. He just got over it. He hadn't played all year. You know what I mean? Now he catches the bomb on his game. We had when I was invited down to Lincoln Theater, and they had Tom McDaniels and a couple people from McKinley. And first time we practiced this was Thursday before the McKinley game.
Wow.
Really?
Victor hadn't been there all year. And we put it in at the end of practice. We ran it and caught it. We never practiced again. Jack called.
Wow.
This was Jack's call from the sideline. He said, "I got this one, Stu."
So this is actually 2nd and 10, second play out of half.
Second play out of the half.
First
yeah.
one was a play action boot, trying to throw deep too. Was that a point you guys had, like right out of halftime, we're going to try to go down and get a quick one on them? Or that was just flow of the game is what we're feeling?
No, it wasn't. We just, we ran the boot, and the boot, he's going to throw to who's open, And then Jack jumped in, called this one. This was off script. He felt it, and he called it. He put it in at the end of practice, and this was his baby. He wanted to have something to go to use Victor's speed because they hadn't seen Victor's speed, And it was simple for Victor. Run down the middle of the field, catch the ball.
His baby hits big.
But man, look at the protection we had on that.
Oh.
I mean, and we really stressed that too with them the next day and leading up to the game. If we do call this, you really got to block a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time to sit back there.
Yeah.
Or to hold a block and pass protection. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Then again, we ran the ball so well. You watch everybody stop on the fake. All their guys stop and look inside, so that buys you a lot of time. But it's still a great job blocking.
All right, so next up, a little counter.
Yeah, 27 counter.
hit big couple times. That one.
Not as much. Yeah, that was a bread and butter play that year, though.
I think it was who do we meet in the playoffs with?
Fremont Ross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys hit that one big a couple times. I remember I watched that back. And so here it gets stuffed, but come right back to it almost. Next play, got the boot off counter.
See the boot set up now.
For a touchdown.
Yeah.
So is that something when you walk up, the previous play you're calling counter?
Oh, yeah.
You already got that in the back of your head.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. That's those are together. Wasn't a great throw, great catch by Vaughn. Come on.
I mean, he just has all that room out there.
Yeah, you get Willie off of that. I often wonder if you run this stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Even flat backs, and you could even put them in a 6 or 7 alignment and run motion back through. How much that would screw people up. When they see 50 throws a game, you start running trap. You know what I mean? Nobody defends a trap. You had to defend a trap back in the day. If that guard released inside, you better close, or you're going to be laying out in the hash somewhere. Somebody's going to blindside you. There's no threat of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They just run upfield.
Yeah.
I think it's an easy 10 yards whenever you want it these days.
Yeah,
and nobody'd see it. You know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, how many coaches, like defensive coaches nowadays, grew up playing against that?
Yeah.
Even now, it's like, midget league, flag football, everything. Everybody's in the gun.
Yeah,
everything.
Everything. It's basketball on grass.
See what we got here.
Boot run it all the way. There was no thought of throwing the ball there. See, that would have been 27 boot quarterback. Faking 27, he's booting it, and we're...
Let's get the waggle action, pull the backside guard.
Yeah. Look at that middle linebacker. I mean, our tight end's got a 5-yard run at him, the way they're lined up. Look at that.
Let's see.
All you got to do is block down. That's why I never liked 4-3, man. You're going to line up outside my tight end and give me that gap.
Yeah.
Between,
Take it all day. You got
run power one way, boot the other way.
Yep.
And take advantage of the same hole.
53 makes his block. Willie's still running. See, even points.
Yeah.
It's a tough block.
Yeah, it as a line.
You almost
gotta pin him into the boundary.
Yeah, I think you need to force the defender's hand. He's trying to stay in front of him.
Yeah.
Force him one way or the other, and let your quarterback follow it.
You can almost
you gotta pin him into the boundary.
Yeah.
You
nowhere to hide, little man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what I always tell you about being a receiver, Hank. Like, you don't have to get hands. If you try to do this and get hands on a corner, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if you force him one way, just let the runner go the other way.
Yep.
Just stay between them. That's it.
You can almost see you can watch the defender try and juke out the guard just based on how the guard's trying to match the jukes.
You got to take a Chris Spielman approach on that one.
Damn.
If you try to...
it's a pretty natural gap, though, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. All day.
You got to block that like how Chris Spielman said he had a tackle in the NFL.
How's that?
Going against Barry Sanders every day, if I tried to stay with him through shakiness, it's never going to happen. I'm going to lose my shoes every time.
Mismatch.
I take one direction and just full on hit it. I either kill him or I whiff. But it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
If I try to stay with Barry Sanders, it's a 0% shot. And I was like, oh my God, that's the dumbest, smartest thing I've ever heard.
Right.
Like, just fail violently in one direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I remember we were playing, I showed up to the Y one time to play basketball with you guys. And I am the farthest thing from athlete.
Force him one way, Hank.
Yep. Yeah, that's all you told me. We're going out there, and you just looked at me like, guy wants to go one way, take him that way. Don't let him the other way.
Yeah, because at least then you know where he's going. Mm-hmm. Even if he's right-handed, I do this when I play basketball now. If somebody wants to go right I let them go right. But I know where they're going, and I'm going to play you frontwards, backwards, not sideways, because that's where you get your legs twisted up, and it's
Right.
playing you one way. That's a lot easier than both ways. So
Yeah, good point.
So here, field goal going for the game winner right at the end of it. What are we thinking?
Hope he misses.
50-yarder would be a rough way to go out.
Yeah, make sure they ain't faking. I know I was concerned about the fake.
And
yes, overtime.
Start to finish. Oof. Bad snap. Just.
But that kid still feels bad. Long snappers get no love.
Yeah, he's probably like, if you're going to miss an extra point, you're probably missing a 50-yarder, so don't blame me.
Yeah.
So now into overtime. McKinley just scored, going for the extra point. Gimme play, right?
Yeah.
Pushed it.
No. So what are we thinking here? Just score and we're good?
Yeah. Control the ball.
Score and we're good.
Take care of the ball.
Not a lot of cheering after that.
Yeah. It looked like that was a lot of McKinley fans over there.
Yeah, it was. That end zone was.
I'm saying like our players like didn't really react to it too much.
It was different then. McKinley used to bring people.
Yeah.
It was nice then when they had a fan base.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
So here.
All right, it's first play. We get it on overtime, right?
Yep.
We got to score a touchdown.
And I'm just letting it roll.
All right. First play's the boot.
So just looking to end it right there now?
Yeah, want to take a shot. And he really gets held. Shaner.
Yeah?
Can we see him?
Nah.
He's down here at the bottom.
No way they zoom out that.
And that guy was on him like a dirty shirt. Look at the guy in the blue down here. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, you can see him.
Rap.
You could.
He rode him all the way down the field.
Is that Spielman in a Lions jacket?
You can see it.
I mean, you can.
He would have been right there where that ball is if he didn't get held.
You can see him giving the ref the business too.
Yeah.
So
now it's option.
Yep. Boot didn't work. Come in. My dad always told the story of, this play wasn't supposed to score. Like, there's nothing to that, right? That's just him making shit up like he does. Yeah.
No, this is get what you can get, baby. This is the crunch time.
Oh, is he supposed to go out of the one or something?
Yeah. Why would you die?
I mean, it might not have been a...
Boy, that's close to being forward, ain't it?
See, this angle makes it look like it. And I think they talk about it a lot in that Timeless Rivals movie you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, they do.
And I think I've seen a different angle of it. I think from the away sideline, and it is perfectly sideways.
Yeah.
It just, from this angle and the fact that quarterback gets held up, it looks like it's forward. But
I mean,
he gets smashed from the back.
What was that? Our right tackle was Ben Mast, 72. You can see him. He wasn't giving up that guy this time.
I think he might have been a freshman.
Pancake City right there.
Freshman or sophomore, Ben, then. Would have been, right?
Sure.
I
would believe sophomore more than freshman, but
he played some as a freshman. But I don't think he played in this game. I mean, this wasn't his freshman year. I don't think. Well, Victor, man.
I mean, perfect
Speed
execution.
came in, and Willie's making that play. Anybody could have got it and scored. It was nice to have him fast enough to get there. I mean, he was a long way.
Hell, I would have got us the first.
He did a great job there, too, of staying in pitch face. You see Victor jump back.
Yeah.
When he sees Willie going inside.
Kept the spacing right, yeah.
4 and 2. He's about right there. Run through the ball.
I mean, he sees the fake pitch. and you think quarterback's just taking off of it, then it's an extra gear. Get back up there with them.
I can't believe how much they bid on Fake. I mean, how many guys do we get?
It came down hard.
Bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam,
wow.
yeah. And again, the tight end's get a free run, doesn't he? That linebacker. No?
Mm-mm. Tight end just seals guy
Moves him
inside.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, Willie.
So, here, game winner. Just don't miss, right?
I could hear through Jack's headphones Willie come off and grab Pribbage. And I can hear Willie yelling at him, "You got to make this kick, Pribbage! You got to make this kick, Pribbage!" Shaking him by the shirt. He went out there and iced it, baby.
What a game. Is that definitely the best game you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Not even been a part of, but seen?
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember anything in, but I was in a whole different mode, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
God.
Wow.
Can't believe it's been that long ago. But yeah, it was crazy. Just getting down to the field from the press box.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet.
Oh yeah, it took like half hour.
Yeah, I mean, you take the same steps as everyone else does, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was nuts. You couldn't have wrote the script any better.
No.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We had Sports Illustrated in the press box.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they did a whole spread on it. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've seen that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, people already trying to get out to beat traffic.
No, nobody left. Nobody left that game. Another thing people forget, too, is 0-0 first quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, the first quarter was 0-0.
I think it ends 42-41.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
And you didn't score 40 back then. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It wasn't like now.
All right.
Put 42 on them.
Well, I take a real quick break and then get into some McKinley this year action. Huh?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of that. I haven't really seen them.
All right. So that was a little fun walk down memory lane,
Yeah,
but
that was cool.
we're in the here and now. Coming up on Saturday, War of 1894. Check out some McKinley highlights of this year. I think we're starting off with the Perry game.
Okay, this is our only loss in the Federal League, right?
Yeah.
It was their first Federal League game. And Perry beat them.
So they got a couple.
There's a good example you were telling me earlier, Hank, about teams being different at the beginning of the year, the end of the year.
Mhm.
Here's your first Federal League game. Perry beats McKinley. And now McKinley runs off the rest of their season.
Yeah.
What's Perry done?
Ain't nothing. I saw a catch on the sideline there.
Yeah. How many? 4 missed tackles.
Yeah, he wanted to return that for sure, and Perry didn't want to
I
stop
was
him.
gonna say,
Apparently,
is he just playing?
kind of looked like it.
Huh?
Yeah.
You run that back?
I mean,
He
great,
doesn't look like he's getting giddy up to him at all. There
great
at the end, does
catch.
he?
Yeah, it's like he didn't know there's anybody right on his ass.
Still, how many missed tackles? Yeah, nice save.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no real
I mean,
giddy up.
he ain't running hard.
And then he's like, "Oh shit!"
He has no idea
Uh-oh.
the guy's right behind him. Wish somebody would have stripped him.
So a couple special teams plays. I think that's really about all they had in this game.
Yeah, well, they got beat.
Just a little counter action. They seem to love this play this year. Just a little.
Just power blocking up front, right?
So backside guard pulls, kicks out the end man. Fullback
Run
wraps.
back a second. I think backside guard just pulled and let up through. I don't think he's looking to trap anybody, is he? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That was going through when I was recording this, something that stood out, that they like that GF counter.
Yeah.
That seems like their staple run play, that and inside zone. Here, just a little zone slice.
Now, their thing's changed a lot when they got this running back, right? Kid transferred from Alliance.
Yeah.
He played first 4 games. I don't know if that's him there or not. I don't know his number or nothing, but that's what I've heard.
He is their offense.
Yeah, I think that must be him. I bet this is his first game he played.
So I mentioned it on the podcast with my dad, but I still love the fact that they put their fullback in a 3-point stance.
Yeah.
Even though he's up in that sniffer.
Uh-huh.
Just, it's a little bit of a throwback, but it
That almost looks like a 4-point.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it could be. Actually, yeah, it does look like a 4-point from here.
Now, the thing to me is, I agree, I like the 3-point stance.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, right there, that kid is no threat of doing anything but run straight ahead.
Yeah.
You know, just his stance is tipping that. What's he going to do? Is he going to run out in the flats for a pass?
Nope.
Not really. He's going to go block somebody.
Gonna kick out the end man. Help lead that running back to the promised land there.
Got some good-looking kids there. 52, 51's got some hips to him.
Little Cobra Kai celebration that didn't get flagged. There's that same play, the GF counter just from
That's
under
12
center.
again, right? See if he stays consistent as a running back. Run that back again. 45-6.
So
Wait a minute.
huddle,
We just seen 3 touchdowns.
yeah, their stats are pretty inconsistent. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. For a while there, they had us like 46-7 lost to Eds. I don't know. So some of the stuff, some of like the numbers that they give you, take with a grain of salt.
For them being the king of the block, that's surprising.
Yeah.
I've never watched Huddle, but
But, just a little backside guard pulls to kick out the end. Fullback wraps around.
same thing, huh? Yeah. And there really isn't much counteraction to it other than quarterback booting away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's all full flow. I mean, it's counter blocking with kick out and lead through, but
Yeah.
there ain't nothing to hold your backside other than quarterback boot.
Nope. But, yeah,
Too
so...
worried about defending that. We'll be pretty good at that.
So...
They ran that last year and they pulled the guard and tackle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no counteraction to it.
No. It's
Counter
like...
blocking, but
Yeah, there's
power
no...
backfield.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make much sense to me, but
At least the way we do it, the running back's going to take a counter step or two just to get his timing right with the blocking, because it takes a little bit longer for it to develop.
Right. And you never know where our back's going to hit it.
Yeah.
I mean, he might hit it backside as many times as it pushes the guard, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, with the final score, the stats, all this stuff, it could be wrong. You know, we saw...
Looks like it's vice versa.
We saw
it
3...
ain't even close.
No.
So McKinley scored twice.
3 times.
3 times.
2 punt returns for touchdowns and a
That's
run.
That's pretty tacky right there.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's up with this, how much of it you can believe.
Right. Probably none of it. If you
So.
if it wasn't 45-8, I probably none of it.
But they lost the game.
They lost.
Yeah. So next up, Hoover. Here we get into the run of Fed games and games that they actually won.
This is something that is concerning.
What's that?
Their ability to do this.
Special teams plays like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they always have athletes. But
Well,
also,
I think
you know,
the other thing, too, is once they have one of these,
mm-hmm.
you know, you can pound it down, take 7 minutes off the clock and score, and then they have one of these.
Yeah, the quick strike.
And then all of a sudden you're playing a different team. You know what I mean? They break one of the kick returns on you.
Yeah.
You're playing a different team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Perry and Hoover aren't the best competition, but yeah, I mean, giving up a big play like that can completely change the game.
Yeah.
Like here, I don't know why they call this a fumble recovery. It's like interception, pass breakup.
Mm-hmm.
But here, it's interesting. I saw them do this a couple times. Got the backers walked up, showing blitz, and drop out of it and only rush 3.
Mm-hmm.
Get the quarterback thinking, got to get rid of this ball early.
Right.
Suddenly, he's trying to throw into an 8-man zone defense, and
How far are they dropping them backers out of there?
Didn't go too far. Probably like 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
yeah.
So they can't do that to us.
No.
Look, if they line up like that. Now, we're going to throw that quick out of here. I mean, that's a check. It's got to be for us. You know how many times we throw them quick, just throw it out there, screens? There ain't nobody out here. What about in the field? They're lucky if they got 2 guys beyond the hash.
There, just a little RPO action. Looks like they had some kind of guard pull, run play going to the tight end side, but just all quick hitches.
Is that the tight end catches it?
No, so let's see here. Line up a nub trip, so you got tight end left, 3 receivers out wide right. Run play to the left with all the receivers running just quick hitches. And if the quarterback likes the numbers out wide, you can pull it and throw.
Yeah, that's a gimme.
And that's exactly the shit you were talking about we can do to them if they want to show that.
Yeah, I think I'll get all them guys bunched up in there, stop the run. Which I might have to do because I don't think they can stop us running the ball. Man, oh man.
Looks like he just hits
Who's playing defense here? Green?
Hoover.
Not any better.
So now looks like defense adjusts, get the numbers out over the trips. Big hole in that right side A gap. And looks like they called like a trap or a power to the left, but running back just hits that void.
Yeah,
See hole, hit hole.
It's good vision. Yeah, they're completely outmanned against run defense.
Another Cobra Kai celebration that didn't get flagged.
Yeah.
Gee, same formation. They just couldn't stop it.
Hoover hasn't stopped much this year.
Yeah. They don't look very good. This receiver's getting a lot of recognition too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, McKinley's got a good receiver.
So, yeah. Obviously not a big passing team. Most of the highlights came from those just quick hitting passes or rollout stuff. You can see.
Just run the ball. If you give them the box, they're going to run the ball.
Again,
They ain't going to run the ball against us.
No.
Our defensive line, I think, is the best. I think we got the best down 3. I'd like to see somebody can put up better.
Yeah.
That's been a talking point for us this year, the best front 7 in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
And again, numbers, grain of salt, but 7 and 9 on third down, that's a pretty good clip.
Yeah, well, yeah, no doubt.
And 3 for 9 on.
You're not going to lose too many games. You're 7 for 9 on third down unless you don't play any defense.
And 3 for 9 on third with 2 turnovers. Not great.
Yeah, should have been a blowout, them stats, if they're right.
So we got late.
Here's the game.
Yeah, this was the one, McKinley's on a little bit of a heater, kind of coming in. But Lake's, in first in the Fed, and number one in our region, so see what they got. Page right out our playbook, just heavy personnel. If you like the numbers out wide, throw the quick screen.
Yeah, not run the ball.
Here, looks like same.
Throw.
Yeah. Looks
That's
like.
a nice catch. What's the receiver's number here? Can we tell? And it's 12 in the backfield at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Or is this a new kid?
I don't know.
See if we can run. See if we can see. Looks like 12.
Is that 10 catching it?
Looks like 10.
Yep.
Yeah, that's their.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
That's the receiver.
Look how tall he is compared to everybody else.
6'4", 200.
Yeah, I heard he's a tall kid.
Yep. Best receiver we've seen this year.
He's kind of. What the hell was he doing?
That wasn't great. Yeah.
What's he reading?
Looks like. Can't really tell the.
Wow, he's trying to hit that dig from clear out there.
Yeah.
Just no vision on the linebackers at all this game, it seemed like. There you get that bluff blitz.
Man, oh man.
Try and hit.
Wait.
I mean, I guess.
The quarterback took the apple, didn't he?
Yeah. Trying to hit the comeback and. Oof.
Not even close. Was Lake getting intimidated by McKinley?
Seemed to be.
It's very possible.
There's your counter blocking with
Yep.
counter action again.
I'm a big fan of
That's your
the
base play.
big fan of the quarterback celebrating the touchdown before he's even in the end zone.
Yeah.
He's got a good view
That's
on
how
it.
Big, yeah, that's how big the hole was.
He's probably not used to those from Louisville, where he came from, I think. Another one.
Yep.
He's a big kid, ain't he, their quarterback?
He's got some size to him.
Yeah. I mean, he got good-looking kids.
And that's just.
What the hell?
You can hear the slapstick
Lake
music
play
in the
any worse?
background.
Huh?
I don't think so. I mean, like, nothing
I mean,
happens.
This
He
can't
just.
be how they've been all year. I mean, they're 9-8-1, right? Good God.
Yeah.
Really might tell you who they've been playing all year, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
giving it away, though. I mean,
Yeah.
this is all self-destruction.
Lake had a really easy schedule, but they were still thought to be pretty good. Quarterback celebrated a little early on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, they ain't doing that to us, boys. I got news for you. They ain't met Big Mike or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I introduce you to our linebacker, number 30, Pringle?
Yeah.
No, they'll meet him.
And out of all that, it still ended up a close game.
They had to give him every touchdown, didn't they?
Yeah.
Lake? I mean...
Essentially.
Seemed to be. Last game recap we got. Jackson.
I think they got... McKinley's got their number, too.
Mm-hmm.
They can't beat him.
Doesn't seem overly athletic or like the best player out there, but I mean, give him some space, he'll make a play.
Yeah. Can't give him that. That's pretty easy.
Got to make a tackle, too.
Yeah. You're giving him 10.
Yeet.
And you can't tackle in space.
Jackson's also not great.
Yep. Same kid.
Number 10, that's their guy.
Well, they're going to have him mismatched our 5-6 corners.
Yeah.
Sensing a theme here with these
Huge
quarterbacks.
plays.
Federal League
Yeah.
quarterbacks. Yeah.
Federal League quarterbacks don't know linebackers exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between that and just kind of throwing it up.
Well, we're getting a pretty good reel of them making 60-yard plays between kick returns and interception returns.
Big play team, yeah.
Oh, play right there.
Mm-hmm. They got some players.
Okay, what we
They
got
hold
here?
up whole game.
Okay, downfield shot.
Beautiful back shoulder throw.
Yeah, that's pretty decent coverage too.
Yeah. Receiver
That
did a good
10?
job.
No,
4.
that's 4.
Receiver did a good job of playing it.
I don't know why they call this one a safety.
Oh, is it?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Turf Monster got him.
Yeah, boy, that's pretty unathletic, wasn't it?
So, McKinley, good on third downs when they win. Got a couple individual. This is a highlight of the quarterback from the Jackson game. So, get a couple, see the same play a couple times, but more film in here too.
Don't expect him to run too much against us.
No. A double clutch on the RPO
They're going to be
hitch.
quick passes. That's what they're going to do against us.
It seems like all they can do is quick passes, a couple token shots
draw.
downfield, and I don't even know if that was a draw or not. Watch the
Kind of looked like it.
Well, so watch. Two things I always look for on a draw is linemen looking to get downfield before the quarterback does, which it doesn't seem like they do. And the running back leaks out, looks to get the pass.
He does turn around.
Yeah.
At first, I thought he was just going to field a block,
Definitely an
but
option. He sees that much green, he's just going to go.
yeah. Swing route. Yep. I mean, it looks like our
Extra run.
looks like our linebackers are going to be a pretty important aspect of the game here.
Legs to run, and
Luckily,
that's to the sideline.
it's a strong suit for us.
Yeah. Just nothing over the middle, nothing real intermediate, just those short, wide passes or deep shots downfield. Get the token roll out here and there, but
You look comfortable doing it.
especially rolling out to his non-dominant hand, too.
Yeah, I think he wants to run.
So, this one, more quarterback highlights from Glen Oak.
This is just last week, right?
Yeah.
This is when they only had so many kids dressed.
I think so.
Yeah, look at their sideline. They had like 18 kids suspended or something.
I definitely heard that they had a lot less kids. Never heard the reasoning for it.
Yeah.
Some kind of fight at school and involved somebody on the football team or something. They were all there. I don't know how many of them actually, what happened, but they didn't let them go to Glen. There must have been something.
Yeah.
Decent throw.
Nice little fade there at the back corner.
4 again?
Yep.
So they got 2 good-looking receivers.
Yeah, number 4 is 6'3". His last name's Foster. Wonder if that is
Wow, look at this kid go.
any relation.
Is that 4 again? No, that's 10.
Yeah, it's 10.
Running hard this time.
Remember a pretty good football player from McKinley, last name Foster, when we played.
Yeah.
Tyler, I think. Quarterback.
B still loves that
Quick stuff.
power blocking with the slant over the middle. Suck up those backers, make room for your quarterbacks.
Over the top.
Corner just deciding he wasn't going to cover anymore. Another Cobra Kai celebration that's not flagged. Yeah.
The kid's been quarterback looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, starting to
I
get.
mean, he's throwing enough balls to keep you off ganging up on the run. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Another
Hoping
19, another kid.
Hoping we can get a illegal man downfield once or twice this week.
It would be helpful.
Sometimes that quarterback takes a little long.
It?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked like an athlete out there.
Yeah. The design runs, that can stay. I wonder how much he's gonna just actually scramble against us, though.
Yeah.
I think our front seven might take that away. Plus, how we scheme it might also take it away a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the design runs. I mean, if they run those, they run those. But it's gonna take a punishment throughout the game.
Now, who's this?
So this is their defensive end and left tackle.
This is
Two-way player.
Is this green?
Okay.
Looked like quarterback kind of helped him with that sack a little bit there.
Is it number 21?
Yeah, good job getting hands on the tackle, reading the plays.
Okay. I can't tell if he's just really reading the play in front of him or if he just doesn't come off very hard. Because he kind of just stands right up, gets hands on, and then waits.
Well, it looks like they're running. They like to run just a base 3-4.
Catch your gap.
And I mean, if they have him two gapping, then he's doing his job.
Right.
I'll find
Sure
out where the
looking,
ball.
that's what he's doing.
And that one looked good. Ripped off of it pretty well. I don't know. I think he could get pushed around a little bit. He's just anticipating that block.
He's supposed to be their best kid.
He was one of the better ones highlighted on the
Nice block.
on the scout sheet. So now getting to see him a little bit left tackle.
6'3", 280.
Holy moly. 280.
Big boy.
Any more insight on defense early, maybe? Wow. That was a block.
Yeah, I think that was the first one we
He's real
showed
deal.
where quarterback celebrated a little bit early.
Oh, he pinned him. You see that all the way?
Yeah, he finishes the block. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't come off super strong, but
Yeah.
he's got it to him there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He looks pretty good to me. 6'3", 280.
I think if he's able to get off the
Fat ass
blocks,
his legs got. How big's that? That's
Yeah.
a big that ass.
That's a farm boy right there.
Yeah, hard to get around him.
Farm boy, I didn't do much.
Lake always had them 5'10", 280-pound tackles.
yeah. I think when he's ripping off the blocks well, like that's when he's at his best. But I think he's going to get pushed off the line once or twice.
He's doing
the way he just stands up like that.
He's doing a good
Tackles
job
aren't real big.
holding the point of attack. I mean, he's not getting pushed back.
I know,
at
but he's
all.
not playing elite blockers either.
Yeah.
Not that we have a bunch load of D1 offered offensive linemen, but we've been going against some pretty good DNs this year. Moore, Eds, Fitch.
But how many of those are two gappers? It's a whole different animal, like the way you have to play them because of how they're playing you.
He does do a good job of ripping off when he does it. I'm just saying,
He's a player.
You get into his chest. I think you get in his chest, you're going to push him out.
Huh?
So, if they keep him outside,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have him going against our two smaller tackles, right?
Yeah.
Sergo and, I mean, one of them guys 250. Sergo's like he's 230.
Yeah,
And he's going to be giving him up 50 pounds to him if he's that big. I mean, they're going to have to come to fight. That's for sure. He's a player.
Sir. So with that, we'll get on out of film room, get into a little bit deeper dive preview on McKinley, look at the rest of the roster, check out some local spreads if we got them, answer a couple fan questions, and get out of here, huh?
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So to dive a little bit deeper into the preview of McKinley, obviously they're sitting at 4-5, dropped the first 4 straight, but have gone on a tear since.
Is that 5-4?
Yeah. You get it.
Okay.
So beat Green 41-19, Hoover 42-9, Lake 36-26, Jackson 40-23, and Glen Oak 40-7. Lake's sitting at 8-1 right now, Hoover at 6-3, everybody else on that end, Jackson 5-4. So, not the greatest competition, but
that's for sure.
Not the worst possible competition either.
Almost.
We're getting there. So
might not be the worst, but I can't think of another one.
Yeah, exactly.
The Lake schedule's probably worse.
So with that, Rob, you want to roll through the roster real quick, see what we're looking at?
Yeah, so we'll start with their offense. Offensive line goes 6'3", 280, 6'3", 310, 5'11", 240, 6', 240, 6'3", 250. So pretty good sized line. The left guard is kind of an anomaly at 310, but everyone else 240, 240, 250, 280. Decent sized line. It's kind of like what you would expect with them. So running backs, they got a good running back. We've seen 6 foot 200, and then they also have a few other guys that they'll mix in as well. But it seems like their offense kind of runs through that running back.
Mm-hmm.
The receivers we've talked about a little bit. Number 10 is their best player on the outside, 6'4", 200. Just all-around good athlete, good player. Number 4, Treshawn Foster, 6'3", 180. They have another receiver that's 6'2", 190. So 6'4", 6'3", 6'2". So they definitely got a little bit of height out there. Not the greatest matchup for our personnel, but there's a lot more to it than just height. Quarterback's a junior, 6 foot 170. We've seen him make some good throws. We've seen him run around some, so decent playmaker. I think this is the kid from Louisville.
I was going to say, we saw 2 quarterbacks in the game last year, so this isn't either one of those.
He might have been there last year also. I don't remember. But if you go back a couple of years, there was a freshman quarterback for Louisville that Massillon won the game, but it was a really close game.
Mm-hmm. And
the freshman for Louisville was pretty good.
A dude?
He was noticeably good for being a freshman. Yeah. We saw him. The film helps break down a little bit of what we're talking about right now. You can kind of see the playmakers. You can see how the quarterback can make some throws, run around a little bit. Offensive line, we didn't really notice anything bad about them in their highlights, so it looks like they get the job done.
Nothing really stuck out either way.
Yeah. So decent sized line, so that's kind of what you expect to get from them. On the defense side of the ball, 6'3", 280, the guy that we were just talking about, 6'3", 250, 6'3", 215. So the size does kind of dwindle off a little bit from their 3-man front. Linebackers go 6'2", 190, 5'9", 215, 6 foot 205, 6'1", 185. So a decent athletically sized linebacking core there. In the secondary, their safeties are 6 foot 180, 6'1", 170. Corners 5'11", 180, 6'3", 180. That's the Foster kid that's also a receiver. So looks like they do have a couple of guys that go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Really athletic, and have the potential to make a lot of big plays. Linebackers seem to kind of drop well, get into their zones, and they make the plays when presented to them. So I think the film is going to speak a lot more to it than what we can off of paper. But that gives you kind of a sense of their size based on what we just watched.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really have much else to add. I don't know of many true 3-4 teams that we've played, so this will be a little bit different of a defense than we've had to attack before. Offensively, Coach B is still over there running the show. It's, I played for him, and then we've been playing him since he got over there about 5 years ago at this point, I think.
Probably.
So it's nothing different we haven't seen from that side of the ball, just different players, but that's how high school goes.
Yeah, they look like, to me, at least from the tape we've seen here, is he gets the ball out quick. Even if it's a deep throw, it's a catch and throw, or it's out on the perimeter, getting the ball out quick. Now, we've seen some runs with the back, but quarterback might be the key gig here. I don't know.
Yeah, he seemed pretty.
It's going to be hard to get to him, and I don't think they're going to want to run against our front.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, we didn't see anything bad in their offensive line, but our defensive guys they're hard to block. I mean, I don't see them making a living running in there with our front five.
Yeah.
Yeah,
McKinley. I think they're going to go in thinking they're going to throw the ball outside. They're going to try and run it, but I think they're going to get them quick throws and then try and get mismatches with their big receivers and our smaller DBs. I mean, that's got to be their plan of attack, I would think.
Yeah, with the size of the receivers and how the quarterback has been throwing some of those sideline balls, I mean, it's a fairly safe chance. At the worst, you're probably not expecting a lot of interceptions from doing that. So high risk or low risk, high reward plays for them.
Right, and then they just heave it over your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you have to come up to defend that.
I think
they don't present challenges, but if they run the ball in there, I don't know, 10, 12 times and try and break one, which is a possibility because they're athletic, but I don't see them trying to go into the game and make it a living running against us.
Yeah, I think that, McKinley's on a streak right now. They probably have all the confidence in the world. They turned it around from the beginning of the year, and they've been playing a lot better since those early struggles. But at the same time, they haven't faced anyone like us. Going through the Fed it's a pretty down year for the Federal League. Hoover's not any good. Green's not any good. They lost to Perry early, Perry's not very good. But, once again, McKinley's changed since then. Glen Oak's not very good. So, I mean, their schedule hasn't been the toughest thing in the world, but that has allowed them to maybe get into rhythm, get into sync, and gain a lot of confidence. And, going into Week 10, that means as much as anything. So, you got to come out there and punch them.
It'll be interesting to see how they hold up because they're haven't seen anything like the Tigers are going to bring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fight. It's going to be, it's not going to be pretty out there. It's going to be physical,
Yeah.
And but we'll see how they can hold up because this tape they look like they got enough players to play. It's just like you say, the competition might make them look a little bit better here too.
I think the only other takeaway I can really add is, we've talked about they haven't seen a defense like ours. I didn't really notice much blitzing from the opponents either, and that's something we've made a living on defense this year. The quarterback said, not that he's needed time to sit back in the pocket because he seems pretty, like you said, he's real decisive with it. He'll take his 1, 3, 5-step drop.
Yeah, he's not going through progressions.
And
he's catching it and throwing it.
And if he doesn't like what he sees, then he doesn't even play around back there. He just takes off with it. And our defense has been very blitz happy this year, pretty antithetical to what we've been in the past, but we're not just running the same blitz every time. It's
he's going to have a hard time running away from 34.
That's for sure.
Pringle is a player.
He's going to have guys coming at him from every which way, stuff that he's not used to seeing, he hasn't seen before, so that's going to be an interesting match to watch. And then when you do send guys like that, your back end's got to hold up. Yeah. And on paper, at least, there's a size mismatch. But that's not necessarily, corners. They can live off being smaller when they got the talent, and
you got to rush.
And we've held up so far. So it'll be interesting to see how this game goes.
Yeah, I expect them to try and throw a lot of those quick outside throws.
Yep.
You know, to get the ball, them talented big kids, and not risk, their offensive linemen having to hold up for more than a second or two. You get the ball out. I think that's just kind of a, one grain they got to go to. You can't do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to run the ball. I really don't. I'll be surprised if they consistently run it. They might pop one.
Yeah.
And the special teams worries me a little bit. You know, when you're the old coach of me coming out here doing this is you always worry.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of forget how good you are, and you worry about what bad can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that special teams, they look like they were pretty impressive in their returns.
Yeah. I don't know. Obviously, special teams is kind of a blind spot for me, but can kind of just general feel of it. I don't know how much it was good special teams play on their part versus bad special teams play by the opponents, and then they just have the athletes to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, probably pretty much a little bit each.
Yeah. So
they definitely got that from what you see. They got the best athletes on the field every game we've watched. Every Federal League game, it ain't even close.
Yeah.
Which really speaks to the first four. I mean, I guess you can chalk off Menor, but the other 3 games they dropped, who were they playing that they lost them to?
Right.
But yeah, with that,
and that was so long ago. Now it don't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They're on a roll. They're confident. Their kids don't realize the teams they're playing aren't very good. You know what I mean? They're playing the same teams they play every year in the Federal League, and it's always been a battle. They'll be ready to play Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to see them at their best.
So with that, we can take a look at some other local teams getting some spread action. So the way it works, Uncle Joe, is Rob's he has a list of some spreads of local teams, a few college teams, a few NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just read off what they are, and off rip, just pick it. What do you feel?
We'll make a pick, huh?
Yep.
So we're going to start off with Northwest, and they're 1.5-point favorites going to Canton South.
Interesting game.
So my running bit with this is I don't know a goddamn thing about any other teams in the area. So Northwest is at Canton South.
I think has had a better than anticipated season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know they beat Norton in the first game, Panthers, and Norton's in 8-2 or something. So they beat them handily the first game. So Kansas South's been kind of like up and down.
Yep.
Like they're really good, and then they don't play so well, and then they have a couple really good games, right?
Yeah. Canton South were big favorites last week, and they got beat by like 40.
Wow.
Oh, Northwest all the way then.
So I think I'm leaning with.
Last week,
I think it was like Norwayne. Does that sound right? Let me scroll back a little bit. Oh, that was Dalton. Oops. Norwayne was big. All right, hold on. Canton South was 19-point favorites against Orville and lost by 3.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, so Northwest all the way then.
Yeah, something had to happen. They're that same team.
Fairless, 28-point favorites at Tuslaw. Big rivalry game for them.
Oof.
It's a lot of points, but Tuslaw's pretty down this year.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Fairless and give the 28. I see 35-0 all over that.
Yeah, I'm taking Fairless.
All right. Here's one you guys should know a lot about. Marion Local is 14-point favorites at Coldwater.
Oh, hold on.
Coldwater for sure. They get the history.
Does the coin flip match that?
Coldwater. Yeah, Coldwater matches.
Always comes to Tiger Stadium when we had the playoffs here.
Lake is 20-point favorites at home against Green.
Lake all the way. Green sucks.
Green's not great.
Yeah.
20 points?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know that clip Lake against McKinley, man. They couldn't get out of their own way, but
yeah,
I still think they got to be better.
McKinley also embarrassed Green earlier in the year.
Hard to play that bad twice. So.
Yeah.
Lake.
Perry, -4 at Glen Oak.
Interesting. Glen Oak disappointed me last week. I thought they'd give McKinley a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I thought they were kind of improving as they went along through the season.
Glen Oak stayed kind of steady throughout the year.
Which isn't really saying much because where they were at sucked, so.
Yeah, but
That'd
usually...
be a good win for them, though, if they could get this last one.
Yeah, usually it's tough to pick the Glen Oak games because like the spreads are like just spot on. It's like, yeah, I know they're going to lose, but are they going to lose by 9 or 10, 14 or 15? Yeah. Like, it spreads so close with that one every week. It's tough.
You know what?
4 points or Perry?
I'll take Glen Oak.
Yeah, give me Glen Oak to cover. I don't know if I like them straight up, but I'll take them to cover.
I think there's some kind of...
Perry's been fading.
Really?
Yeah. The last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think there's some kind of percentage out there that we might see Perry week 11 if they lose. Hoover -2 at Jackson.
Ooh. I'm going to take Jackson. That's a big rivalry game, right?
I think so. I mean, both...
Take the home team.
Both similar teams.
They didn't look impressive.
They match each other pretty well compared to the other Fed schools.
Both of them sneaky athletic, a lot of coaches' kids, real gym rats. Give me Jackson.
That's a tough one. Jackson played Perry good, but Perry's not good. Hoover's not good.
Jackson played last week. They got beat, didn't they?
If you told me yes confidently, I'd believe you.
Wasn't one of our spreads. I don't know it. Not sure. All right, so here's an interesting one. St. V is going to Walsh Jesuit, and Walsh -3.
Ooh.
That is a tough one. St. V gave Hoban a good game.
Mm-hmm. Both are having good years.
Yeah.
Did St. V...
That's a tough game. Who's getting points?
Walsh -3.
At home?
Yes.
That's a tough one. I'm going to take St. V's.
not to follow you, but I'm thinking I need a dog in here somewhere, so going St. V.
That'll be a good game.
Will be a good game. Another good game. Hoban at St. Ed's.
Ooh,
Ed's -2.5.
Ooh.
Go Eds.
I'm thinking Ed's.
You know what? I'm taking Hoban. Scrappy little program. Haven't done much lately. Let's see what they got.
Yeah.
You got to give them
the up and comers.
Yeah.
I'm hoping St. Ed's mauls them and they lose their first round game in the playoffs.
I wouldn't be too mad at that.
I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Akron is going to Kent. Kent -18.5.
Wow.
That's a big number.
Damn.
I thought Kent after that.
I'm taking Kent.
After that first 3 games they played with all the thing and played a couple teams tough. I thought, boy, they're going to do good in the MAC.
Yeah, and then they got killed by Toledo last week.
They can't win a MAC game. That's a big number, man. I'm afraid of that number. I'll go the other way. I would take Akron.
I'm taking Kent.
Akron sucks. Go Flashes.
Yeah, I don't know much about Akron this year. Besides, they always stink. Kent's got a good offense. Syracuse at Clemson.
Clemson. I'm all over Clemson.
Clemson -13.5.
That's it? Holy shit. Yeah, give me Clemson all the way.
Syracuse is undefeated.
You didn't pay attention last week, did you?
No.
Syracuse won and covered.
Against?
Syracuse is ranked right now, I think.
Because they're undefeated, but who'd they play? The ACC sucks.
Yeah, they haven't played much.
They beat NC State 24-9.
Good for them.
I mean, not NC8. They're not
quarterback. I don't think.
They're not world beaters, but I watched Clemson a couple weeks ago.
They're at Clemson too. They ain't gonna.
Yeah.
Clemson isn't great.
I don't think I like Clemson a lot now.
Sounds like Rob likes Hughes to cover.
I kind of like Clemson to not cover.
All right.
That's kind of more the way.
That's
more the way I'm looking at it. Clemson isn't great. All right. Texas is 6-point favorites at Oklahoma State.
Ooh.
Horns up, baby.
At Oklahoma State. I don't know.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State doesn't get blown out.
Just got to win by...
They win 8 or 9 games every year.
Yeah.
Just got to win by 7.
Sneaky, consistent, really good team every year.
Texas is good.
Texas is good. That quarterback's good.
Yeah, give me Texas.
He's healthy again. Yeah,
I like OK State. They're like my shadow team, but...
Killed Oklahoma.
Yeah, give me Texas.
7 points.
6.
6. Boy, that's a tough one. I'll take Oklahoma State. Keep it close.
Kansas State is going to TCU.
Ooh.
TCU minus 3.5.
That'll be a good game.
That will be a good game.
TCU at home, hard to bet against them.
Yep.
Horned Frogs.
They've been on a heater.
Yeah.
Mississippi State is going to Bama. Bama following a loss is minus 21.
Bama's got some demons to exercise.
Yeesh, 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bama's going to come out rolling, ain't they?
In the 8 quarters that Mike Leach has played Bama with Mississippi State, he's scored 9 points.
Wow.
So I'm going Bama.
Bama.
Yeah.
I'm going with Bama too.
That's a surprising stat there, Hank.
Yeah.
9 points in 2 years for his offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Saban's got his number.
Chip Kelly and UCLA are going to Oregon, where Oregon is favored by 6.
Give me the points.
I'd be interested to look up the weather for this game.
I still can't get over Oregon just getting mollywopped by Georgia, so give me UCLA.
Okay.
I think UCLA's rolling. They might have it figured out over there. It's taken 3 or 4 years, but I think he might have a foundation, and he's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. I'd love to see him win. I'll take the points.
Right. Ohio State, for their big night game against Iowa, they are 29-point favorites.
That's a lot of points.
The number is huge.
So Iowa has a good defense.
Yeah. No offense.
But they have a middle school offense.
Yeah.
Ohio State pretty much just has to find 30 points somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ohio State's going to pour it on them.
I don't know if Ohio State's in a position where they really need to, though. It's a big night game, what comes naturally, but it's not like
Ohio State can lose a game, still get in if they beat Michigan.
it's not like that we have to prove ourselves game or something, yeah.
Well, I think
They're coming off a bye, though. They're going to be humping. They're going to be ready to play.
Plus that, I mean, I know it was 5 years ago, but Day was there, and I don't think he wants to forget Iowa putting 55 points on him. So I'm taking Ohio State to find the points.
Yeah, I think so, too. Iowa's offense
I would, too.
Iowa's offense just can't score.
I'd go to my wallet to bet that game.
Yeah.
No. If I have to, I'll take Ohio State.
Yeah. All right, so do we want this Madison McKinley line?
So for the Madison McKinley one, Uncle Joe, we have to guess what the line is.
The game is at Massillon.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Weather is good, sunny, maybe a little cloudy, 69, 70 degrees.
Nice.
It's a Saturday game.
I think
If I was going to bet it, I would be willing to give McKinley 12.
12.
I think the worst I saw the spread, and this was right after McKinley just dropped the 4th one. This guy, he does spreads and predictions for every team in Ohio.
Oh, my goodness.
He had us he's a math professor at Worcester, I think. He had us at minus 29. I'm guessing that number's dropped a little bit.
That was before they've had their winning streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like it Massillon minus 19.
15.5 is the line.
15.5.
15.5.
Wow.
See, that's the pessimist and the guild coach here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd give that many. They look like they got some talent to me. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, one big play can destroy a spread.
Yeah, exactly. You start giving 18.
Those backdoor covers are a bitch.
One punt return, and
Yeah.
you're got to score 5 times.
Minus 15.5. You know
I
what?
mean, I hope we blow them out, and then in the back of my mind, I think we are. But I'm always this game is,
I think
Traditionally, we run against them.
it has
A
been
lot.
We've been
which is going to run the clock.
Keeps the clock
too.
going. Yep.
It makes that big spread number harder to get to.
I am willing it into existence that we just bury these cats.
I think we still cover even with that game plan.
Yeah.
That's the that's the goal. But I would take a 1-point win. I'll take a 40-point win.
Yeah,
Anywhere.
I could see 34-14.
Yeah.
You know, I can see that pretty easily. I mean,
yeah, I can.
If everything goes according to plan,
yeah,
it's not a bunch of turnovers or penalties, or we don't shoot ourselves in the foot on offense. I don't see them, running up big points on us.
If we come out like we did against Eds, and I mean like after we spotted them 14 and then just threw it all over the yard and ran it down their throats, they can't stop us. We score when we want to. Punter might not see the field.
And we're really due to have a really clicking offensive game.
This would be the one.
We haven't reached our potential yet offensively.
Yeah,
it's probably a good thing at this point because we got a lot of season left.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of room for improvement, and I don't know if they can hold up on their defensive and offensive lines, to tell you the truth.
So with that, hammer Massillon, boys and girls. So that's all we got for spreads. Move into some Q&As. We didn't get any new questions, but we can still touch on a couple. This one's been sitting at the front of my mind for a little while, Uncle Joe, so let's get your take on it. It's series has always been back and forth, but since 2012, when we beat them twice in the same year, they've beat us one time. At what point in the rivalry is it like, obviously it's always going to be the rivalry, but at what point is it not going to be what it was?
Yeah, I know. It's concerning. You hate to think that way, that it's going to get that lopsided, but you don't want to lose to them either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We like the way it's been going. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, and I think right now they've got the right guy there. I mean, I think, for what they went through last year, beginning of the season, and him to pull together and still, do the Federal League. And I thought maybe they'd get off to a better start because of that. I thought they had the right coach that could really has grabbed these kids and maybe can pull some more into the fold and really get something rolling over there. Because there's so much potential there. But it's obviously a tough place to get all that done. But I think they've shown that they're heading in the right direction. But we're pretty good. That's the other side of the coin. And if we don't stop ourselves and have penalties and drop balls, we're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd like to think we can beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But it's the McKinley game. You don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
So on to the next question. I'm just kind of hijacking a couple that were for my dad's podcast. Give us 2 or 3 of your most memorable experiences or moments from the rivalry.
Wow.
Player, coach, fan, anything.
Anything. Well, 100th game for me comes in. Just the whole day. I remember walking out there to start the day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, first time I walked out in the field. And there's hardly anybody there, and the hair in the back of my neck stood up. So, it was, that day was always going to be remembered. And, of course, my senior year, we went on the Hail Mary in the 74 game where they were 9-0.
Yeah.
So that's the back of your memory. You can never get too confident. They were 9-0, we were 5-4. We beat them on the Hail Mary touchdown. So those 2 days got to stand out. The other one would probably be in 91, was my first year here coaching with Lee Owens, and we went over there to Fawcett, and Travis McGuire ran for 300 some yards, and we just buried them. And that was a lot of fun. First year here, and, being involved with it again. And so I'd say them 3 days.
All right. So kind of answered the next one too, which the question was favorite game as a fan and as a player. So yeah, what was your favorite game as a fan?
As a fan, wow. Probably when Danny was a senior and we went over there to McKinley and beat them. Mm-hmm. Because they had a really good team and we were 10-0, and that was a classic game. I think their coach was a senior that year too.
Really?
Antonio Brown. Yeah, I think he was a senior co-captain same year as Danny.
Damn.
I believe so. But that was a fun game, and it was a nail biter. Mm-hmm. And then at halftime, the second half, we pulled away.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you kind of keep it a little more low-key, tailgating-wise. But do you have any good tailgate stories from the McKinley game?
Stories. Usually coaching.
Let's hear a good coach story, too.
Here, so I don't really remember any really good tailgate stories. Pregame parties, before we got to the stadium, up at your dad's house. That was always a good crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of exciting. But they all kind of blur together.
Yeah.
And then last question I got. What is your favorite Massillon McKinley game tradition? Could be your own.
Favorite tradition.
Could be your own personal one. Just, shit we do around town, within the team specifically. Favorite one.
Favorite one. I don't know if I'm that consistent with it. Kind of just roll with the flow.
Yeah.
I usually like to go somewhere and get a good breakfast. That's probably the most consistent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't really have a special thing that I do every time or anything. Just make sure I'm ready to go at 2 o'clock.
Hey. Mm-hmm. It's all that matters at the end of the day, right?
Yep. That's right. Got to be ready to play.
So, I guess with that, I don't have anything else. Rob, you got anything?
No, I think we covered a lot.
Yeah?
It was fun. Appreciate it.
Uncle Joe, it's always good to have you on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, and welcome back anytime. And with that...
Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Let's win what? What we got to win? 6 more? Something like that. Crazy's playoffs. Can't keep track of it.
Yeah, 6 playoff games.
I don't want to get ahead of this, though. We got to beat these guys. We can't look ahead.
We got, we always talk about we got 3 seasons. Weeks 1 through 9, week 10, and then playoffs. So
yeah,
we got this game coming up. And then we got...
I think we will. The Tigers are going to come ready to play.
And then after Saturday, we got 6 more.
After Saturday, we got 6 more.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. I wish it'd go back to 8 so much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be teams at Division I that are going to be like...
Yeah, usually down in like Cincinnati, when they first did this, it was like an 0-10 team going against undefeated Moeller.
Yeah.
The first round of the playoffs, and it's like, this team doesn't want to do that. They don't want to play that game.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't allow my team to get it.
I mean, I remember my senior year, our first week in the playoffs, we blew this team out so bad, I got playing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, playoff blowouts.
Yeah, I mean,
you give everybody a chance,
money
but
grab, but it's ridiculous. You got to earn something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're 5-5, then you can sneak in, fine. But who wants to be 2-8 and go play a team that's 9-1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, can them kids really get excited about that and really say, "Give me a T-shirt"?
Pretty
says
sure
I
that I think that like McKinley's gonna be hosting a playoff game no matter what.
Yeah.
I think McKinley could have went 4-6 and still hosted a playoff game or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
they got home field advantage with a 4-6 record. Or you got some teams like that where just because of the expanded playoffs, you could be the 8th best team in the region and you have a home game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, I think. I think it's really sad what it's come to. Everybody gets a trophy, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. My opinions of...
Don't make the rules, but
Yep.
got to go out there and win
It's
it.
too long for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's too long of a grind.
Mm-hmm.
You start 2-a-days, 1st of August now.
Yeah. No, they didn't bump up
so then
allotted practice days, so you just lose a week
a week of practice.
And the season starts a week earlier, and then it...
Goes till Christmas.
Yep.
Just about, yeah.
Pretty much.
It's insane. The whole thing should be able to be wrapped up by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend ought to be the big weekend. You know?
Yeah.
And then
I think that was
people
always
have
like
Friday and Saturday off. Yeah, it was at one point.
that was like the final four for us. I think was Thanksgiving week.
I think if that was the championship weekend, you got Friday and Saturday to have it. Your attendance is gonna go. You're gonna get a lot more people come for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Let me look at this.
All right, I appreciate it. It was fun. I'll do it anytime you want.
Yes, sir. And with that,
Go Tigers.
beat McKinley.
Beat McKinley.
Beat McKinley.